Irish guy, and a storm is coming, England fans. Things might feel like they've hit a rock bottom low ebb at the Euros so far, but I promise you, what's the opposite of a golden generation? Because that is what is on the horizon for England fans. I'm telling you now, England's true unbelievable crop of world-class players, which ironically didn't even make it to Euro 2008. Well lads, once the world stars of England's true golden generation filtered away due to old age, then England's next immediate crop of talent were awful, finishing bottom of the 2014 World Cup group and then being booted at a Euro 2016 by a Viking island shrouded in darkness 300 days of the year. I mean, Roy Hodgson was tactically destroyed by a part-time dentist. I mean, whilst Hodgson was accepting the Liverpool job 6 years earlier, Heimar Hallgrimsson was probably having to explain to worried mums on the phone how to dislodge broccoli from their child's braces. I don't want to scare you all, but I promise you, you are in for a terrible 15-20 years of ugliness. Okay, lads, Jude Bellingham is fantastic, but after the age of 25, he's going to be trying to do this all on his own, because I think Phil Foden will become one of these world-class club players who can never quite do it for his nation, like Francesco Totti for Italy. Bellingham is going to be to England, well, Gareth Bale was to Wales. I'm telling you, nobody has noticed it yet, but the talent pool is massively drying up, and your next manager is going to be even worse than Gareth Southgate. I mean, at least Southgate is being carried by world stars, but your next boss, somebody who looks like the FA's worst kept secret, he's not going to have a clue. I can already hear the Hogwarts theme music at his first press conference. The future of the England team is so horribly bleak. We all know who the next England manager is. It's obvious. It's Graham Potter. Of course it is. Why else would this man, ever since his Chelsea sack, why would he continue to turn down huge teams like Nice, Ajax, Lyon, Leicester City, and Brighton? Graham Potter is holding out for something, and we all know what it is. Everybody knows. This must be the worst kept secret in English football, and I have proof that all the managers know this. Leicester City are the proof. They have just hired Steve Cooper, somebody who, yes, looks like he's had his face squashed in by a tennis racket. Yeah, with everybody knowing that Gareth Southgate is vacating his England seat in a few weeks' time, why would Cooper then agree to step back into a Premier League relegation dogfight when he has literally won the World Cup with England under 17s? Cooper, he is literally the Sir Alf Ramsey of the kiddies. Surely he would be one of the front runners, nailed on to be given a job interview by the FA. I mean, Christ, back in 2016. The England FA were interviewing Steve Bruce of Hull. They ain't that picky. The fact that less than 10 years earlier. And the interview waiting room for the England job consisted of Jose Mourinho, Fabio Capello, and Luis Felipe Scolari. Yeah, fast forward to 2016. And it was a battle between Sunderland manager past and present. Just wow. Mourinho, Capello, and Scolari were probably making small talk by swapping world-class tactical ideologies and methods. Yeah, Bruce and Big Sam were probably ordering a pizza each, whilst Alan Pardew blushed in the corner, slowly chewing on a banana he'd brought from home. There's absolutely no way Cooper would have taken this Leicester City job if he thought he was getting an England interview. No chance, because he would absolutely be a contender for that job. Potter is going to be the most miserable, banana-flavored choice for the England national team. This somebody clearly cannot handle big egos or top players. That was proven by the fact he lasted just 31 games as Chelsea boss. I really do think that England are about to experience a real shortage of quality coming through, and nobody seems to have noticed.
Oh, Irish guy, what are you talking about? England just won the under-21 Euros last summer.
Yeah, I know they did. And so everyone now naturally assumes that they're all about to embark on another star-studded golden generation. But no, absolutely not. I mean, England reached the final of that thing in 2009 with what was very much a pretend under-21s team. I mean, Christ above, Micah Richards had already burst onto the scene with the England senior side 3 years before. James Milner was in the team nearly 7 years after his Premier League debut. He had over 200 Premier League games under his belt. He wasn't just some kid. I mean, lads, Theo Walcott was in that team 3 years after he'd gone to an actual World Cup. He had since scored a hat-trick for the England men's senior team. Why was he with the under-21s? I mean, did the actual legitimate England children of that squad, did they go on to make it as huge England international big names? Nah. Michael Mancien, who was a star centre-back in the Chelsea academy at the time, he grew up to play international football for Seychelles, which is just a giant chunk of sand in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, where there is probably such a shortage of decent footballers. The coach is probably this close to chucking an actual mermaid in goal, with the emergency substitute left back being some grumpy lobster on the bench. I know the England under-19s just won the European Championships in 2022 as well, but so do you really think these players are the future? There's probably about 3 from that squad who'd even get senior England caps. I mean, again, go back to 2009, when England reached the final of the under-19 European Championships. That was a promising England team filled with future stars, right? Like Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker, Danny Welbeck, and who else? I'll tell you who. Jason Steele, Dan Gosling, Matthew Briggs, and Niall Ranger. I mean, somebody who I would not be totally shocked to read on the internet that he's just been caught breaking into Costa Coffee at 4 AM so he can steal a cheese sandwich. That golden generation after 2009 never happened, because 7 years after that, a senior national team were being dumped out of Euro 2016 by Iceland. The nation was in absolutely abysmal shape. There was such zero confidence left in any of the England players to actually perform on the world stage, as exemplified by the fact that when Big Sam Allardyce briefly took the job, his first port of call was him trying to call up his former Blackburn Rovers defensive midfielder, Stephen Nzonzi. Yeah, he ain't English, chum. I mean, similarly, the England under-19s, who actually won the European Championships in 2017, how many of those are now England successes? There's only one who's in Gareth Southgate's squad this summer, and that's Aaron Ramsdale, who might as well eat an entire wedding cake 30 minutes before every match. It ain't gonna make a difference. I mean, England won the under-17 European Championships in 2010, beating Spain in the final. Yes, Spain, who were the dominant force in world football, but that England team, did that produce any future England stars? I mean, Ross Barkley crammed in over 30 caps, and Saida Berahino sat on Roy Hodgson's bench once, but that's about it. Winning underage tournaments means nothing, and especially because things are so muddy and messy in teenage football. I mean, Jamal Musiala was an absolute star at England underage level. He had clearly no intention of representing the senior team though. I mean, the England FA are no saints either. Yeah, you did steal Grealish and Rice from Ireland, but they were born in England, sure. Okay, I get it. But lads, don't forget, if Sven Göran Eriksson had his way, then England's strike partnership at Euro 2004 would have been Wayne Rooney and Louis Saha, two strikers who Manchester United bought that year, but Saha said no, because he's French. I remember when England were desperately trying to call him Adnan Januzaj. He said no, and then 5 years later it was scoring the winner past them for Belgium in the World Cup. But good. Januzaj is about as English as I am a Portuguese toaster. If the England FA had their way, they would have had Mikel Arteta, not Gareth Barry in their midfield, with either Carlo Cudicini or Emmanuel Almunia in goal. So I look at the current under-21 side, and what true future stars are in it? Sure, Kwanzaa is an exciting centre-back at Liverpool, sure, but he's not exactly an 18-year-old wonder kid like Lenny Yoro. No, he turns 22 in January. Rio Ferdinand at 22 was the world's most expensive defender. Kwanzaa, he ain't as young and fresh as he looks. I mean, yes, Jamie Bino Gittins is an exciting wing teenage sensation, brimming with fresh quality on the Borussia Dortmund books. A former Manchester City Academy star. Yeah, so is Jadon Sancho. His England career is over at 24. Again, Ealing Jr. is at a huge club like Juventus. Brilliant. So is Steffi Mavididi once upon a time. He's now 26 years old at Leicester City and is going to retire having the same amount of England caps as that cow in the field across the road from me. Smell my fear. Probably stinks of Weetabix after you leave it in the sauna for an hour. Yes, Jarrett Branthwaite is a centre-back star for the future, or is he? And is he just the next Harry Maguire? Somebody who was exciting and fashionable on the world stage as a squished Calippo. I have a feeling that in 5 years' time, JB is going to be seen as another horribly overpriced Manchester United misfit who has all the grace and poise on a football pitch as a horribly pregnant aunt desperately trying not to get sick of her popcorn on a trip to the cinema. Other than a handful of legitimate future stars like Kobe Mainu, Cole Palmer, and of course Jude Bellingham, I'm failing to see any real future stars. I mean, there's so many who've been hailed as future wonder kids over the last couple of years, but I think it's time to give up on some of them. Jose Mourinho used to rave about young Tottenham striker Dane Scarlett, for example, saying that he is the future of football. Mate, he's the English Troy Pollard. Scarlett is now 20 years of age and has 6 career goals. 6. And again, another Euro 2022 winner with the under-19s. Lads, what England cannot do is cling on to the star players they have now for longer than they should. Because, for example, at Euro 2028, Jordan Pickford will be 34, Kyle Walker, 38, Luke Shaw, 33, John Stones, 34, Kieran Trippier, 37, Harry Kane, 34, Ollie Watkins, 32, Jack Grealish, 32, Marcus Rashford, 30. Roy Hodgson is somebody who cannot accept the realities of age, continuing to ignore Father Time knocking on his door, and choosing to bring players to the 2014 World Cup who were ancient. I mean, is it any surprise? That's a man who'll probably be accepting interim jobs at Motherwell when he's 93. But yes, at the 2014 World Cup, instead of choosing to look to the future, he was fitting a squad with a 34-year-old Steven Gerrard. I mean, Wayne Rooney was only 28 years of age, to be fair, but Rooney is a bit like a dog. Because in Rooney years, 28 is more like 35. I mean, that's what happens when you probably have a daily barbecue for breakfast and brush your teeth with chocolate milk. Frank Lampard literally had his 36th birthday during that tournament. England's best players We're old. And I think that is going to repeat itself very soon. I know England still have a bunch of stars under the age of 25. And you like Bukayo Saka is a star. Yeah, but so was Raheem Sterling a few years ago. I mean, he was producing the same numbers as Saka is now, and it didn't help England win anything. I mean, don't forget, Sterling had his 31 goal season at Man City once. I mean, if Saka ever achieves that in an Arsenal shirt, I will chew every grain of sand at the beach. How do England possibly replace Harry Kane? Is this guy going to be leading the line for England in 4 years' time? Probably. I mean, Olivier Giroud is 7 years older than Kane and still plays for France. And his numbers are absolutely excellent for his age. Not only is he France's record goal scorer now, but he's off to the MLS. Off the back of 14, 18 and 17 goal seasons for AC Milan. That's amazing. And now the Italian Giants are apparently trying to replace him with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's an insult. That's like a wife serving you divorce papers because she wants to marry that pig she stole from a farm. The thing is, there is nobody to take Harry Kane's place. He is an absolute world-class star and a bit of a fluke. You don't get a Kane every 10 years. This is like how England fans were terrified in 2012. Everybody knew that Rooney was slowing down, but who else was there? Andy Carroll was still making England's squad despite just a 4-goal disaster debut season at Liverpool. Harry Kane was just some 19-year-old slug playing on loan at Millwall. England were probably banking on Danny Welbeck to be Rooney's heir. Crazy, things were getting so desperate that they're soon giving the likes of Ricky Lambert an England debut at 31. If there never was a Kane, then England would have been one of these unstable nations who would have been swapping and changing their striker at every tournament. At the 2018 World Cup, it would have been Jamie Vardy leading the line. At Euro 2020, it would have been an informed Dominic Calvert-Lewin. At the last World Cup, it would have been Callum Wilson. At Euro 2024, it would be Ollie Watkins. That isn't a good look. But that is the future of English football. Lads, between 2011 and 2017, England were in the absolute doldrums. The pool of talent had completely dried up. I mean, at the minute, £100 million stars are failing to make England's Euro 2024 squad. I mean, the last time Man City tried to make someone a £100 million player was Kaka, a year after he won the Ballon d'Or. And now, Grealish can't even squeeze his way into the squad. I won't deny, this is a mega talented crop, but between 2011 and 2017, things got so desperate that the likes of Kevin Davies, Jay Bothroyd, Matt Jarvis, Scott Carson, Tom Huddlestone, Andy Carroll, Fraser Campbell, Martin Kelly, Stephen Cocker, Ryan Shawcross, Carl Jenkinson, Tom Cleverley, Jack Robdell, Leon Osmond, Jay Rodriguez, Ricky Lambert, Callum Chambers, John Flanagan, John Joe Shelby, Ryan Mason, Nathaniel Klein, Danny Drinkwater, Ryan Bertrand, Jake Livermore, Tom Heaton, Jack Cork, Nathan Redmond. Insufferably average players who had no business representing their nation. Players who wouldn't come within a meerkat's cough of a cap nowadays. They all played for England. I mean, lads, even Trevoh Chalobah's big brother played for England at that time frame. And nobody knows who he is. So drink in this tournament and the next World Cup, because I promise you, this golden generation is drawing up quickly. And I think once things really go terribly for Potter struggling to keep control, I think you're going to see the return of players retiring from international duty early. Remember when Paul Scholes took up his boots for England at 29 after being sick of being shoved on the left wing? I think Foden retires from England inside the next 5 years. We have seen the likes of Wes Brown, James Milner, Ben Foster, Jimmy Vardy, all retiring early from England because it just wasn't fun. People at least stopped doing that on Southgate's watch, but trust me, this sort of stuff is going to happen again. And England, it's going to be like the 2014 World Cup all over again. Potter is going to be a disaster. Anyway, that's it. What do you think? Let me know. Am I talking wrong? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.